Hello everyone, this is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness, and Happy New Year everyone. It is New Year's Eve, approximately 5:32 on New Year's Eve to be exact, and welcome to my first annual album countdown. I'm doing a top 10 countdown of my personal favorite albums from 2022. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing and becoming part of my YouTube family. I'd love to have you. Also, consider liking and sharing this video. I would really appreciate that in addition to comments below. If you're not comfortable commenting publicly, you're welcome to click on my personal Facebook link, which will be found in the description below as well. In addition to my Patreon link, where you can choose to support the channel. You'll also find the link to the Amazon Media Awareness wish list, where you can pick and choose items for me to unbox, review, etc. So this is rather exciting for me, my first annual countdown on media awareness, and because it's New Year's Eve, I'm going to take a drink. I have some delicious red wine here, so cheers to everyone out there. And here's to a very loving and prosperous new year in 2023. So being that this is the first annual Media Awareness Top 10, I'd like to really extend my utmost appreciation to all the great musicians out there who've been putting out quality music throughout the year and beyond. The rules for this countdown are simple. The albums must be original studio albums. They cannot be re-releases, reissues, and they cannot be live albums or compilations for that matter. They have to be new albums of new material. There's a lot coming in 2023, and we had some great albums in 2022. Unfortunately, not everything can make the top 10. And I do have two honorable mentions that I will cover first. So the first honorable mention is for a band that is really great. This album is superb. It just didn't quite make my top 10. And that is Killer Kings' Burn for Love. Regardless of the fact that this did not make my top 10, I highly recommend this album. It is a fantastic album. Melodic rock at its best, and just one song after another is really great. So I would definitely recommend that. The second honorable mention is Julian Lennon's Jude. This album sort of caught me off guard as I really wasn't expecting anything new from Julian Lennon. I know that he was focusing on art and a lot of visual presentations, but this album was really a welcome surprise in 2022. And I did a reaction to the one single from this album. Totally blew me away. Julian Lennon at his finest, Jude. So, now we begin the top 10 countdown of 2022. I have a cheat sheet here to make my life easier. So, at number 10, we have Lonely Robot, A Model Life. This album is a spectacular album. I did attempt to do some reactions to some of the singles off this particular album, and they were blocked, but this album is fantastic. My initial impression of the first song I'd heard was not favorable, but once I heard the second single and listened to the album in its context, I was hooked. So that would be number 10, Lonely Robot, A Model Life. My apologies for the glare. Great album cover, very minimalistic art. Fantastic. At number 9 on the Media Awareness Top 10 list, we have Sunstorm, Brothers in Arms. This album is really an amazing album. Fantastic, in fact. Just saw track after track of great melodic rock, catchy hooks. This will get stuck in your head, and you want this album for your collection. So check out Sunstorm, Brothers in Arms. This next album came as a surprise to me. I'd heard the single, Oceans of Time, and I was completely blown away by it. And I could not wait for the album to be released. That is Jonas Lindberg and The Other Side, Miles from Nowhere. This album is really, really a masterpiece. And it is just top-notch musicianship, very epic quality music. So much emotion is captured on this album and just conveyed so artistically you cannot escape it. Jonas Lindberg and The Other Side, Miles from Nowhere. Coming in at number 8. At number 7, one of my favorite bands and an album that has certainly grown on me since its release, Porcupine Tree, with their album Closure/Continuation. This album really was a long overdue return from Porcupine Tree, following Steven Wilson's extensive solo career, which he's pursuing once again. But this album is really a treat for Porcupine Tree fans, and a lot of the songs, it really didn't necessarily connect with me previously, have since latched on to me, and I've latched on to them. Herd Calling, amazing song that I initially just kind of dismissed, but just amazing. So that'd be Porcupine Tree with Closure/Continuation. At number 6, we have Journey's Freedom album with a very bad glare. Sorry about the glare, guys. This is a fantastic album. Journey's first studio album since Eclipse, which was released in 2011. And this album is just, from beginning to end, a masterpiece. There are some production issues, but if you can overlook the sound quality on some of the tracks, you will love this album. It is really having bad glare. Really a great album. At number 5 on the top 10 media awareness countdown, we have Marillion. This album is an hour before it's dark. And this album really is just, it's very poignant for the time right now that we're living in. And I remember getting this album in the mail and not being able to stop listening to it. And to this day, I still put it on and listen to it, which is why it's in the top 10. This album is truly one of Marillion's finest moments, and I highly advise you guys to check out Marillion An Hour Before It's Dark. This is just fantastic. At number 4 on the countdown, we have The Flower Kings by Royal Decree. This album is really a fine album. And it's a progressive rock album. Yeah, and it really captures that classic progressive rock sound from yesteryear with modern day nuances. Just a fantastic album. I highly recommend this. At number 3, we have Landfall with Elevate. This album I just received recently, and I have not been able to stop listening to this album. This is a phenomenal melodic rock album from beginning to end, and it's one of those albums that you won't be able to stop listening to either. And that's a good thing, because it's fantastic. Landfall's Elevate. At number 2, we have 6x6. This album is really amazing, non-stop album from beginning to end, as all these are really. And it has some amazing work by all the musicians. Amazing writing, amazing production, and there actually is an accompanying graphic novel that goes along with this album that I've yet to get. So you might want to check that out on their website. But this is number 2 on the countdown, 6x6 self-titled album. Check it out. And number 1 on the Media Awareness Top 10 First Annual Countdown of 2022, we have The Tangent, Songs from the Hard Shoulder. This album is amazing. I know I've said that a lot about all these albums, but this album in particular really moved me to tears at points. And it is just such an emotionally charged album, and it is just an amazing band, and I'm really pleased to have been able to discover the Tangent from my music collection and become a fan, because this is worth it. So there you have the first annual Top 10 Media Awareness Album Countdown. This was really a pleasure to bring to all of you, and I really put a lot of work into compiling this and just sort of ranking these albums accordingly. Hopefully 2023 has just as much magic to bring as 2022 does in terms of music and more. This is Rob with Media Awareness. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button and become part of my YouTube family. I'd love to have you. Also consider liking this video and sharing it, as well as commenting below. If you're not comfortable commenting below, you're welcome to send me a private message on Facebook, and I will respond to you personally. I'd also like you all to please consider becoming a patron and check out the Patreon link. That will ensure the eternal longevity of media awareness as a platform of all kinds. And of course, the Amazon Media Awareness wish list, where you can pick and choose different items for me to unbox, review, and much more. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and please have a happy and safe New Year. Cheers.